Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the world champion Terran. In the red, the Frenchman from Team Liquid. It's Clem. Facing off against arguably the best Protoss player in the world in the blue. We have herO. In another best of 5 Terran versus Protoss Grand Finals, where Clem's near perfect control will face off against herO's barely controlled aggression. And the only thing I have control over is when to beg you to smash that like button. And maybe even subscribe. And Jimmy, what are we? 1,566 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another one. I'll probably do it anyways. I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better than this. Well, it's unclear who, but down goes a Reaper and an SCV, which is used to help body block out for the sentry. Already sent a hallucinated Phoenix across the map. Down go 2 probes. Reaper about to get away with murder, but the Stalker pops out to make sure it is executed at the end of the day. So, now herO doing his version of a Reaper scout. And while the Reaper is capable of doing more physical damage to the Protoss, you can't underestimate the emotional damage that a hallucinated Phoenix does to the Terrans, who are especially vulnerable to it. The fact that Clem cannot hide anything, or at least it would be very difficult to hide from that Phoenix, as it gets into the main base, sees a second barracks, sees a factory with a tech lab completing. He knows it's not going to be like a quick Widow Mine drop sort of play, and he's got his classic Bert and Ernie buddy cop pulling in the hallucinated Phoenix for hallucinated Colossus for high ground vision. Oh, sweet Tassadar, it wasn't just a fluke, it's now a trend. And you know what? If units just auto-attack, he knows it's hallucinating, but his units don't. His units must be manually controlled, so just wasting any amount of DPS on the Colossus is making it that much harder. The Cyclone comes out, locks onto one of the Stalkers. We'll be able to target it down, but the Colossus actually tanking enough fire. So the way hallucinations work, they don't do any damage. They take twice as much from attacks. But Clem, in his eyes, in the eyes of his units, there's still a unit worthy of being attacked. You can't explain to a Marine that popped out of the barracks at the 2.5-minute mark that Colossus isn't real. Without a scan, you're going to have to manually target it. So, you know, it's another one of those... Another one of those builds from herO that I'm not sure is 20 or 200 IQ, but it's certainly something different. Just like an Oracle now coming in, which will be quite a revelation to Clem, one way or another. There is a Cyclone out already, just a good baseline against any early Protoss shenanigans. It can target down pretty much any unit Protoss can realistically bring across, including the hallucinated ones. Though it does delay things like siege tanks. In this case, the starport is pretty severely delayed as well. You know, herO walled off his own Stalker from the gateway. It's just a guard Stalker, alright? So sometimes herO comes up with things like hallucinating a Colossus to do extra damage in the early game. And sometimes herO puts his own Stalker in the corner, alright? So it's always a roller coaster being a herO fan, and sometimes you get whiplash in a single game from the strokes of genius or just regular strokes. Well, the Guardian Stalker, and he's not even going blink. He can't even play it off like it's no problem. No, that Stalker lives there now. Unless he's willing to recall it or something. But there's really no good options besides playing it off like it was intentional. Now, somewhat oddly, he hasn't... Oh, well, now... He doesn't... He might not know the Oracle's real. Okay, I think he does. I think he... Well, at least he's taking it seriously. The Oracle and the Cyclone will lock on. Yep, that's a real revelation. And a scan and from... Okay, well, he gets away. And it cost a scan. So, quite a costly move for Clem. That's good. And then, oh my. But wait, there's more. 2 stasis will trap about half the army. And there's no way he can fight with that. herO has stopped this push before it started, comes back around and finishes what the Stalker Sentry timing did. Clem is coming across the map, but herO does not have Colossi. He has mass charge lock. And Clem is just simply not ready for this. Pops a Guardian Shield as well. The sentries want to feel like they're participating, though they are way too slow to be a part of this at the moment. And now Clem, instead of being on the attack, despite the fact he's only on 2 bases, is in full retreat. What herO has... He's 2 steps ahead right now. And as with any herO build, it's unclear whether he's so far ahead, he's crushing it, or he's about to get lapped by his opponent. But I believe right now that herO has everything he wanted. This aggressive expansion style while just throwing everything and potentially the kitchen sink, or at least a hallucinated one, at Clem, has successfully bought him the time and the space to get the economy to compete with this army. But the boys are pulled off the line. Clem has had enough. Even though he just finished a 3rd command center, he's pulling the boys alongside the army. Which, since there's no actual splash damage, the boys can take plenty of damage. And, well, +1 done for either side, but the firepower of the Terran army with any amount of SCVs to tank is clearly visible. Recharges a sentry, and he puts up a wall. But the Terrans, unfortunately, mostly ranged units, bunkers at the front. And the siege will begin, such as it is. A bit of a blitzkrieg here from the Frenchmen, but the SCVs are going back home. Disruptor shot parts the Red Sea, comes up completely empty. But now the charge lots are moving in. He lost a Nexus, but wait, there's more. Another Nexus up to the north side. The bunker's gonna complete. And Clem is just going back to work. He might be able to take out this base as well. There's a single siege tank. The bunker actually buying some extra time. And I think Clem's going to get rid of this Nexus. The probes, is there a recall? Yes, there is. He could get the probes out of here. Right now, they're more like refugee probes than actual working creatures. But, so, the worker's really suffering in this game so far. Not so much physically, but it's been a trying time. As herO is forced to recall his probes, Clem sees another base on the way. Disruptor shot follows through, hits the Marines! And this time around, Clem takes one on the nose. But there's plenty more behind it because he knows that the 3rd base is something he can focus on. There's no Colossi. There's 1 Colossus. See, technically correct. Oracle comes back around Revelation, going to be very helpful with those Widowmon. +2 ground weapons about to complete, extended thermal lance right alongside. And herO is putting together an army that can defend, but Clem right now has 40 more army supply. He's knocking on the door. Does herO have an answer? Widowmon clips, Widowmon is clipped by the Ruptor, but only the 1 for now. Colossi standing their ground and burning away the Marauders that get nearby. That The Oracle with 2 HP, or 4 HP. Anyway, red HP. Still incredibly useful here. Unfortunately, well, at least he spots that Widowmon. And herO gonna double expand because why not? Clem at 52 SCVs. He's been there for quite a while. He's finally rebuilding some more. Picks off another Mon. But herO still fighting it out, even with way less army supply. I mean, there's no other choice. Feign strength where you're not. But a triple drop. Yes, Clem has a decent-sized army heading on the 3rd. But he splits off another 30 supply in medevacs. It is about to drop the base. The main base completely vulnerable. Recall on cooldown, remember the probes. And now herO's either going to have to split his forces or just pick a battle. And he's going to lose something either way. Clem going for the divide and conquer strategy. The Widowmon will clear some of it up. One of the medevacs is picked off. The other one not quite enough damage on the Stalkers. He's going to... Oh, it's so close. But the blink isn't there. Clem still holding right outside. 30 supply lead. But herO has double expanded. And he's about to have 4 bases to 3. Leapfrogging Clem yet again. Oracle recharged. Slaps down a Revelation. And it appears herO has defended his base and held on to both the 3rd and the 4th. Oh, not like this. After all of that, it just flies into a Widowmon. And immediately a Colossus is going to take a hit as well. Oh, it's dangerous to go outside. The map is dark and full of Terrans. Another drop is loaded up, but did herO spot? I don't think he spotted it with the medevac, but the Spylon right here is going to give it all away. A group of charge lots. Headed for the third base, but going to be intercepted by the majority of the reinforcements, but that gives away the position. The massive doom drop towards the main. Clem has 50 of his army supply in those medevacs, just about. The majority, about half and half. If he loses this, it's critical damage. Huge recall into the main. Clem coming up the center with the main thrust of the army. The Nexus is going to be taken down, but at what cost? He is able to take out exactly 0 more of the medevacs. Disruptor popped down the center, and Clem took out the main base. He's working on the 4th, former 3rd, re-4th, but Widow Mines connect. Charge Lot's coming in from either side, but the Bio Ball is easily able to roll through him. herO has +3 weapons to just 1-1, but Clem is closing in on 2-2. 60 supply gap. Disruptor taken out. Vikings kiting back. The Colossi are tumbling. Clem brings the army together. herO fires back. Disruptor doesn't find enough to stop the push. The charge lot's underneath. It's really actually hard to tell what's going on. But the gateway units have solid upgrades, and that means herO's able to drive this back for now. And if it was anyone else, I'd still be confused as to why they were in the game. But sometimes Protoss needs a hero. Immortals on the way, but Clem is closing in on 2-2. He's got a 4th base, and it wasn't his main floated over there. What a game to open things up. herO doing some crazy things, and Clem getting caught flat-footed. But now the stims are hitting, and the Marines and Marauders are just tearing their way through. EMPs washing across the entire army. And it looks like game, well, it looks bad, for sure. herO never able to really get a counterattack going, and that meant the Terran army just kept gaining momentum. Never shut down the drops as hard as he needed to. And herO will fight to the last supply. But with less than 10 army supply, he will tap it out, and Clem will claim game number 1. What a game to start things off. herO clearly showing that it's going to be unclear what strategy he's showing. Clem looking a little frustrated with it, as he has been against herO over the last few weeks, as herO has participated in a lot of the weekly cups, including this one, the Wardi TV Monday, which you guys help sponsor through me. herO has been participating in a lot of the ones dominated by Clem and Max Packs. So pretty much now, the way the weekly cups go is herO and Max Packs fight to see who gets to face Clem in the finals. Usually after losing to Clem in the upper bracket or something, but I digress. Occasionally we flip the script and it's Max Packs versus herO, but Clem? Where are you going? That's not your base. I think he knows. Pretty sure he's aware. Yeah. Well, it's a proxy Rex. Clem deciding to start things off earlier in game number 1. Nope. One job. Game number 2. Nailed it. 2 gas behind. Not gonna let herO take the initiative again. We'll see what flavor of proxy he wants to do. It's been a while. I don't think the proxy marauder sort of strategies. Don't prove me wrong now. The proxy marauder, it's good, but against a player like Max Packs or herO, it relies on them making mistakes with their micro. That's why the proxy marauder is so strong against gestures to everyone else. But it can be countered. And if you slip at all, obviously it makes it very difficult. But I'm just going for the Reaper. And getting a couple extra probe kills early can spiral into a significant economic advantage later. So I think that's where we're going with this. Clem just wants to pick off a probe or 2. And herO's actually going for an Adept first. Not a Sentry this time around. So that means I have a more direct response, but he still should lose. Oh, what a save. Pops the probe into the assimilator to dodge for a moment. And somehow, herO's gonna get out of this. Oh no, he went the wrong way. The grenade timing is near perfect, but near perfect isn't good enough. Clem proxy raxed. Got the Reaper in. And somehow herO, not only did he not lose any probes, but he killed the Reaper. Which, well, that went better than you could ever hope for. I was talking about micro, so. The barracks is headed back home. We got a starport for Clem already. herO with a Twilight Council this time around. He's making sure of things. Shield battery at the natural. A backstop in case there's more coming. It's very risky to send out the Adepts at this point, because if he follows it up immediately or just sends a Reaper in, that could still spiral out of control. But with the second Stalker coming down, I think it always does these crazy patrol pathings, making the Adept. Alright, headbanging. Jamming to the Terran theme, but he lies about it to whoever's listening to him. We all know the Terran music is better than the Protoss music, alright? We don't have to lie about that. It's okay. Reaper pops in. There is a Cyclone. But no Reaper wall means no easy thing for the Cyclone to exploit. Now what do we get from the starport early? Oh, just gonna dance back and forth, but the shield battery takes a sip. Metaphorically, of course. Protoss can't sip anything without mouths. Third Nexus now on the way. Blink. Gonna be completing momentarily. herO not so intent. He's only got 2 gates. Not much aggression you can be doing there. But having it at all makes it a lot easier to deal with any sort of starport, any sort of Widowmine drop, or even Cyclone run by. It's just your kind of one-size-fits-all tool. And it fits some situations better than others. But that's what we've worked out over time. Forge is on the way. Wow. Alright, Hallucinated Phoenix now getting in. Gonna time out those barracks. Very notable that Clem doesn't have any tech labs on those racks. Gets a Raven out. Probably going to be moving at least 1 racks over. There we go. In order to start stim. And herO actually up by 10 workers right now. Because, of course, Clem got a later second base. As is likely to happen when you go for the proxy racks. Wow, he's actually going to flip the factory off as well, which could have been phrased better, but you know what? Depends on how offended you get by your factory being forced to move from its add-on. That it's known its entire life. Of 2 minutes or so, but still. All the more tragic. Raven sauntering into the main just a moment before the shield battery completes, and that means he's going to get 2 probes. The key to this is how aggressive herO is with expanding. It pretty much got him killed last game, to be honest. His going for 4, almost 5 bases right off the bat certainly didn't make it easier to defend an outright attack. But if he gets away with it, because Clem is so confident in his attacks and his aggression, is why it's a bit risky. But against everyone else who wants to do this careful, put together, solid Terran timing, well, herO's going for a 4th base. Clem hasn't even started the 3rd command center. Oh my. herO's definitely more of a ask forgiveness than permission sort of player. And if you're not going to punish him, he's going to get away with it. Stim and combat shield finishing. Clem loads up. A double medevac drop is headed out south, but the watchtower will spot this. herO just waiting for things to move out, but Clem will he evade the watchtower? No, you can't evade the watchtower, right? He's actually sitting in between. Oh, bait and switch! Surprise! Wow! What a perfect move out of Clem. Yeah, go tell your friends what happened here. Wow. What a move out of Clem. He goes right in between where the watchtower is and the vision of the stalkers. And a full pincer maneuver kills 4.9 out of 5 of them. Which, you know, you'd even re-eat at that restaurant on Yelp. Of course, if you weren't a Protoss, because Protoss don't have mouths. But herO, looking to hold the line at the 4th base. Shield battery out of energy. Single adept ready to shade in. Potentially draw some fire early from the siege tanks. Cancels at the last moment. Colossus, no extended thermal lance. Gonna take a couple swipes on the Marauders. The 6 o'clock base vulnerable. And herO is going to fight. He's up in front. He's eating siege tank shots, but Guardian Shield, he energy recharges mid-fight. Good force fields. More siege tank shells coming out. 3 siege tanks behind this. He's running out of real estate. HP on the Nexus. Here we go, charging forward. Widowmines hit home. Force field's good. Extended thermal lances completed, and just Marines remain. herO will hold. Wow. Splitting under siege tank fire, allowing his zealots to take a couple more hits to make sure the rest of the army was in the right spot. Just calm under pressure. And that means herO now has 70 probes. He has 4 bases. He's building Colossi, 4 probes at a time. Clem does have another base. Warp Prism spots the Marines. In fact, oh my, I don't... Oh, he sees it, yeah. I didn't know if it made it easier or harder to spot the sieged up observer with the little smoke screen there, but I think it made it way easier, to be honest. The little animation. Well, hero's at 74 probes. Got 7 gates going on 9. Second robo on the way. He's already got +2 weapons nearly completed. +2 armor started up. Clem's just now getting an armory, a second engineering bay. He's starting some Vikings. But hero's starting out with both feet forward, which is an advantage. It sounds awkward, but wow. The Stalker, from the shadows I come. Gross. And stalks the Marine at the watchtower. Now herO, he can see everything. That's not literal. He can see most of his side of the map, both edges where medevacs could go, and most of the center. So that really narrows down the locations that Clem can be in. And he's taking the 5th base, because of course he is. You're doing such a great job of meeting Clem out on the field. And right now, with his 2-2 upgrades finishing, he's going to have an advantage. There's no... I'm looking for the weakness here. But this game has been near perfect out of herO. He, despite the fact his stalkers were caught, like, in the grand scheme of things, that's not nearly as important as holding on to his 4th base. If you can sacrifice 4 stalkers for it, even though they technically cost more, that extra level of income, even over what Clem has now, more than worth it. The Colossus count is up to 3. He's now building Ruptors. And Clem is angling towards 200 supply and then probably moving out. herO already has his army split into 2 bits here in order to potentially box out things like the drops we saw last game. Raven keeps coming in, has racked up 9 kills. But here comes herO. The sensor tower will reveal the brunt of the army. He's got 3 Colossi. Just charging up the ramp, goes straight into the fight. Disruptors getting far forward. Forced to retreat against the concave of Terran. The Vikings kiting back. About to knock out 1 Colossus. Actually doesn't find the target fire. Disruptor shot. Comes up empty, but he's using them like a force field in order to keep the Terrans back. Still 3 Colossi. Down goes 1. Disruptor shot knocks out several Marauders. Vikings still dancing with the Colossi. Charge lots come in for another pass. Still 4 disruptors. Clem's supply is dipping, and herO is taking no damage behind this. If he keeps trading out, he's got disruptors at nearly point-blank range. He's in the zone of danger right now, and he fires off the shots into the mineral line. The collateral damage is dramatic. Another shot, curves it around, clips a ghost. The Vikings still strong, and Clem just taps it out. The Colossi lived, and the charge lots kept coming. herO with a near-perfect game strategically, keeping Clem at bay, maintaining an economic advantage, and using his superior army and upgrades when he had it. And Clem, just no answer. Well, honestly, in both games, it feels like herO's in the driver's seat, but you never know if he's the kind of guy who's going to take you to your destination or drive you off a bridge and then fight you in the car on the way down. But you know what? Either way, it's entertaining. And the closer we get to sounding like the plot of a James Bond movie, the better it is. So, show me what you got, herO. Game 3, King's Cove. Clem just finding no success. It has to sting even more when the reason you were behind is because you just completely failed your own cheese. And Proxy Reaper is a cheese. It is something that relies, well, should be more effective if your opponent doesn't scout, because the Reaper comes in like 20-30 seconds early. But when it gets shut down that hard, and your expansion is delayed, you don't really have any other ability to put on it. Put on early aggression. It doesn't get much easier. And herO just ran with it from there. Everyone's buildings in their own base, and for once, herO is Reaper walling at the corner of the base. Is he gonna Reaper wall this entire edge? No, you can't do that. Now I've said it. He's pre-building a zealot. And then, will he cancel it in order to get the minerals back for an expansion? The reason you build the Zealot like that is in case of engineering bay block. As long as the Zealot is not 100% finished, you get 100% refund. So might as well start it in that moment and complete it if they do get cheeky and go for the Engi bay block. It's going to be Sentry first. Pulling that back out of the playbook. Hallucinated Phoenix already coming across the map, going to come into Clem's base at a similar time as the Reaper gets into the Protoss base. So you can jump up like any part of this, right? Reasonably sure. Twilight Council's on the way. Hallucinated Phoenix gonna spot Clem with reactored Hellions. Now, that is interesting. The Hallucinated Phoenix won't be around when they complete. Oh! So, oh, oh, he's gonna get out. There's another one. So close, but he squeezes away from the force field and slips down to the lower terrain and will escape the Stalker for now. So, Hallucinated Phoenix will scout the reactored factory, but that can be misleading. We've already got Hellions headed across the map. This, oh my. Oh, herO doing the most uncomfortable possible patrol pathing. He will have a moment of warning. The Stalker's just looking to head this off. Another Hallucinated Phoenix. Right into the mine, which, well, that's one way to scout it. Robotics facilities on the way. And again, this is not a wall. There's a conspicuous gap there, but it's not a wall either. So just keep your double negatives together here. I'm pretty positive about this one. Cloak Banshee on the way behind. herO very notably has not taken a third Nexus, or not really attempted it. So with 4 Widow Mines in the medevac, and still the Reaper Hellion on the low ground with a Cloak Banshee follow-up, there is a dramatic potential. He anticipated the medevac. Blink is not quite done. Another 15 seconds and that medevac could have been an absolute disaster. Instead, it was just a setback. Blink now completed. herO with 3 gates, enough to put on some extra aggression. The medevac is... Whoa, Blink Stalker's chasing the Hellions. We'll get another one of them. Banshee headed out, soon to be cloaked. There is no shield battery on the map at all. Usually the counter to Banshees. Until at least you get 2 of them. Because once there's 2 Banshees, they can just fire and kind of overwhelm the battery itself. Charge is on the way. An observer in production. Where's the other observer? Just sneaking around the north side. So not in Clem's base, spotting the fact that he went for cloak. There will be probe kills. The question is, how many? He opens it up. Observer coming back around. But Clem... Oh, well, the observer's right there. Gets 4. And then the Banshee straight up taken out. So the threat of a Banshee is oftentimes better than the Banshee itself. So the Banshee getting a finite amount of probe kills and then just dying certainly makes it easier for herO to prepare his response to any sort of follow-up. There's another Banshee. Of course, you're allowed to build more than one. It's not motherships. And herO, his third base significantly later. So he's not going to be in nearly the same economic advantage he was in the previous game. I never expect me to hit the same place again. But here we are. And another Banshee taken down. Which... Now, I think part of this is Clem is so used to playing against max packs. Max packs would have moved out with the Blink Stalkers. Maybe left 3 or 4 at home. Because then there's time to put pressure on. He went for Cloak Banshee. There's not much of a follow-up right now because he had to invest so much in the Banshee. herO just kind of didn't. He still had everything at home, which seems like a missed opportunity right up until that second Banshee gets knocked out of the sky. In which case, he fully capitalized. And now, a hallucinated Colossus. Welcome back. And Guardian, oh, he unsieged! Oh, it's a disaster! Oh, no! Oh, my! Oh, wow! Clem just completely blindsided. Force field on the ramp, and that Colossus might not be real, but those 2 Gs are. herO just came in and won the game. What? He picked off the tanks in the medevac. He just hit him exactly when he was looking the other way. herO with this off-tempo timing yet again. Such a zest-like strategy. Clem trying to save the tanks, but herO preempts it by targeting the medevac. He drops the Zealots on top, sees an opportunity for the force field on the ramp. He has high ground vision with the hallucinated Colossus. Wow! What a game. herO successfully executing Clem and taking the lead just like that. And this series has been all herO all the time. No, he hasn't won every game. But again, crashing this plane with no survivor. Oh, herO. Match point. We're going into El Dorado. Clem shell-shocked. That killer instinct. He's gonna do another kind of off-center Reaper wall. He doesn't need to beat Clem outright. He just needs to sow enough confusion that Clem helps. And indeed there, panicking and trying to evacuate the tanks ended up costing him more than just kind of sitting back. Also, Clem not doing his due diligence. He didn't know where herO's army was at that time. He was assuming based on, you know, common sense, which is very dangerous when you try to apply it to herO. But he didn't send out a Marine to scout or an SCV. Not even poke it out. So what you don't know can certainly hurt you. Still, though, I really didn't expect the game to just end. I wonder if herO did. You know, I feel like herO goes into these fights with no expectation of the outcome. Like, just, you know, just be like the ocean, man. Salty. No. Interesting pylon placement. Not sure what he's doing with that one. It doesn't really wall up. You know, it's not even in range to be a suit. Why not? He just slaps it down there. The feng shui is good. Wonder what Clem will make of it. Is there even a Reaper? No Reaper. Just skip that part of things. Reactor. Bunker on the low ground, so Clem clearly playing it safe here. He also didn't go for the Reaper, which means that the first gateway units can move across the map and potentially be quite a frustration to your early production. Twilight Council on the way. Starport halfway there. Just building a Hellion this time. Clem is going to be as close as he's been the entire series to the expansion timing. Getting that one Rax expand. Blink is the choice. Meanwhile, we'll see what comes out of the starport. That will be the defining part of this early game, I think. And it's a medevac. All right, well, here we go. herO with... Are you walling off? I honestly don't know what... Is he walling off against Hellions? Why do you do these patrols? Like, it's not even covering any extra area. Just keeps him moving, I guess. He mines through the mineral wall, opens up a gap. Meanwhile, the 7 Marines loaded up into the medevac. The Hellions can move out as well. 3 Hellions, an existential threat to probes. They can kill as many probes as line up in range in a single volley. So the medevacs, well, the medevac gets shut down completely. But the Hellions, yeah, herO didn't really wall, which is not surprising. Clem is committing, and the Stalkers are not enough. The Marines will distract, but the Hellions are incinerating probes at the natural. 5 kills, 8 kills. Oh, it's a disaster. He lines them up. 14 kills. Oh, it's a tragedy. This isn't a battle anymore. 16 probes slaughtered by the Hellions. He killed the medevac with all the Marines left inside. So herO now is sending it across the map. But he just kind of didn't wall off against the Hellions, and then they killed all his probes, which is, well, how the turntables have turned as DJ Clem just drops the Marines in the base, and the Hellions doing the real damage at the natural. herO down 13 workers, 41 to 27 now. He's gonna try the blink aggression, but there's two bunkers. He actually loses the Raven. So removing that option, making it that much harder to deal with the Observer. herO has enough stalkers to be a real pain. Targeting down one of the bunkers. There's not enough SCVs to repair. Going for the second one. The boys are entirely pulled now. The damage output isn't there. He has to pull back entirely. The bunker holds. That second bunker was the saving grace here. That may keep Clem going and saves him from being dramatically upset in every sense of the word. The boys are pre-pulled. The Marines, they don't have stim, but there is a Viking overhead. There are 2 siege tanks. And I think herO's time is running out. Ghetto Blink's back with the prism, juggles down, doing a good job of it as well. Blink is... Stim does not exist. He doesn't have it in production or anything. 7 SCVs dead. herO warping in some zealots, still not nearly enough damage. He blocks on top of the bunker. The SCVs are not repairing. Goes down in 3 volleys, but still the siege tanks are in place. Vikings hit the deck. The war prism is still intact. The siege tanks don't quite cover the edge of the base. He's gonna kill some more SCVs. There is a point that the SCV count drops low enough we can just work from there. Does herO have a gate out? Of course he does. Oh, he blocks on the tank. Doesn't quite finish it off. The boys are pulled yet again. Kills a few more SCVs. Viking on the ground. Gonna help out. Tries to... Oh, that's it. Every stalker dead. We're going to game number 5. The roller coaster continues. Will we see herO continue his slope downwards, or will he climb back to the top? Which doesn't bode well with the whole roller coaster metaphor, analogy, whatever. But I digress. Into game number 5. We'll see what the ley lines have in store for us. As in the top right is the world champion Terran. It's Clem, holding the line yet again after doing critical early damage against herO's admittedly confusing setup. And herO pulling out a wide array of strategies, architectural designs, and emotional indulgences in order to bring us to game 5. And yet again, well, that last game, Clem may have been literally in the driver's seat, but I think herO's decision to set up his base the way he did certainly opened up the opportunity. At this point, I'm accepting that some of the things that keeps herO from being this perfect-looking Protoss is what makes him so good. Like, it's like that the random mutation, okay? He needs to do something that seems very dumb in order to eventually find things that are very smart. Because if you just do the same thing over and over and over again, eventually, you just end up a Terran world champion. But Protoss does not have that same luxury. Or so it seems, so... I want to see more hallucinated Colossus attacks. Make hallucinations rage quit. Force people to rage quit again. Oh, no. Working title. But, we'll put in something more clickbait friendly. Well, Reaper on the way across. Sentry first. Hallucinated Phoenix off the energy recharge. We'll spot the Reaper coming in. Gonna be a stalker behind. Bert and Ernie yet again. Oh, Ernie and Bert. It doesn't really matter who was first. It just matters who's last. Gonna do some damage to the sentry. I'm sure... Oh, he was thinking about a force field. But didn't quite see the opportunity. And since you can't repair Protoss units, that damage is permanent. Starport's on the way. Stargate for herO will be the choice. 2 Reapers and a Hellion early. Which, I'm not sure if herO actually spotted the second Reaper, though he should know based on the timing. Second Stalker coming out. There's not going to be any energy for Force Field for a few moments. He's going to try to target down the sentry, hitting the moment. Oh my. The moment before the shield battery and the second Stalker are done. That means he's going to get a bit more damage. Hellion making its way around the mineral line. He will see the Stargate as well. So, Clem gets all the relevant info while the Phoenix circles overhead. Was he manually controlling that? Because it was kind of disjointed. It wasn't like a regular patrol. Ah! Trying to drag out the Widowmine hit with the rest of it short-lived, but the Widowmine unburrowed dodges it. Some Prairie Dog micro. And a medevac is out. herO, is he bringing that probe to trigger the mine? Maybe slap a pot. Oh, herO. But the mine moves back a bit, anticipating an Oracle. It is just going to be Phoenixes. The probe leading the charge. That one Phoenix overhead, he sees the mine. But the Stalkers can easily kite back. The Cyclone actually uses its lock-on, picks up the Widowmine, but they're relatively tanky. The Phoenix gets knocked down easily. But wait, there's more! He picks up the Cyclone to prevent the Phoenix from picking up the Cyclone. Which, there's a joke here, but I'm not quite picking up on it. So, everyone going back to their corners. Well, Clem was in his corner the whole time, but herO will admit that that might be a bit too much to deal with at the moment. The Phoenix is going to try another angle. Third base on the way. Robo Bay as well. Okay, I'm sorry. Robo Bay as well needed the appropriate tone because a Robo Bay that quickly skips the Twilight at all and goes straight into the mech Protoss composition. It's going to be Colossi and Phoenix. An old build. I keep saying that, but when it's used in at least like 10-20% of games, it's not that old. Relying on the Phoenixes to maintain air control with their awkward mating dances and the Colossi to deal with the ground. Meanwhile, Clem is going for a full 5 racks timing, laying it all on the line. On ley lines. Scan will spot the Twilight Council finishing, but actually doesn't now. And then walks out with a Colossus. I don't know if Clem actually spotted it. I think his minimap cam was on the other side, so I doubt he realized, but he has an idea. That Twilight Council shouldn't be the timing. There's probably something else. Either way, he's got Stim done. He's finishing up +1 combat shield. He's going to have more medevacs on the way out. herO kind of thin on the army supply at the moment. He only has 2 gates, working on 3 more. Building Phoenix Colossus. So Clem is moving out. It's a dangerous army, but if herO holds strongly, he's in pole position. There's a lot that could go wrong for him, but it's on Clem to get the damage done first. And now it begins. The Colossi. Guardian Shield. Widowmine's dragged out. The Sentry taking massive hits and finally sacrifices itself onto the mine. The Phoenix is trying to intercept in the main. Cyclone locks on. Might be able to deal with this. No blink to close in. There's not many gateway units on the ground. The Colossi have to evade the Reaper wall, unfortunately. And he's knocking down several of the Phoenixes. The rest of the Bio Army's coming in. Now that Reaper wall is directly working against herO as the Colossi on either side. And Clem, he might be able to deny charge. Oh no! A charge back, if you would. And down goes the third Nexus as well. He can't chase the medevacs. He doesn't have a third. Without charge lots, he's not even that confident in engaging the ground army. But herO, I'm looking for silver linings here. But right now, it seems they're mostly filled with asbestos. 14 probes dead. Extended thermal lance is done. No upgrades at all, but 2 colossi. The phoenixes are still above. The colossi, a third one comes up. And then the first one is knocked down, bringing us back down to 2, meaning the marauders are still quite scary. herO will hold, but at what cost? Going to fight across the map, try to catch Clem in an awkward position where he least expects it. It's happened before, it could happen again. But the marauders will arc out. Guardian shield, helpful. The medevacs kind of low on energy, only 3 of them at the moment. Phoenix is still a danger. Picks off another Viking. herO on the chase. War Prism will reinforce. Charge is done. But herO needs to get something more now. Even though Clem doesn't have a third, he has the economy, and he's building up the Viking count to deal with both the Phoenixes and the Colossi. So there's an expiration date on this army. But here comes Clem with everything he's got. The boys are pulled. The Marauders arc out around. The Vikings hitting the Colossi. But forced to pull back for now. Phoenixes will move to intercept. A few more Marines incinerated. The supplies are dangerously close to even. Only a few SCVs went down in that fight. Charge lots don't quite get hit by the mines. Warp Prism in a precarious position. Colossi juggled back. He's holding for now. The Widow Mines connect on the charge lots. The Colossi with half a... Oh, what a save! He dodges the Viking volley with the Warp Prism. Try to target down more Phoenixes. The Colossi, both in the red. Another one bites the dust. He has almost no HP left. Juggles the Colossus forward to hit the Marines. The ground army is nearly non-existent. And herO is unable to break through. The Colossus, no! He saves it yet again. That Warp Prism, the lifeline. But he's running out of it. That's so many. The last Colossus for now. But the Vikings knock down the Prism. And with it, herO's chances to evade this army and Clem's momentum. He made it so damn close. He caught him off guard so many times, and he almost pushed him over the edge. But Clem claws his way back and claims a victory. 3-2. GG. Well, and so ends another chapter of the generational showdown. herO coming up a little short, but keeping Clem on his toes the entire time. Clem still the mechanical mastermind, but herO, the wild card. Well, hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it made your day a little bit better. If you got the means and motivation, be also check out Patreon or YouTube membership. Thank you to our Mule Tier patrons, Big Jiggy, Dork, Mario N, and now Thomas B as well. Thank you very much. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free, at least for now. So thank you for watching. Thank you to Wardi for putting on the tournaments every day, every month, and pretty much all the time. But make sure to check them out as well. I hope I made your day just a little bit better. Make sure autoplay is on the right video. You know what I mean. And I'll see you next time, hopefully. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.